But it feels like now, after just gathering a lot of intel from our roasters on YouTube and Twitch, powered by First NorCal Credit Union, Comcast Business Text Line, what I'm starting to feel from 49er fans is that this season cannot be special. It cannot be special unless you put Philadelphia into the dirt. Unless they beat the Eagles.
Is that more important? And listen, nothing's more important than winning the Super Bowl.
No, they have to win the Super Bowl.
But if you beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, how good, Bonte? I'm talking to you.
Is that fair? No, it'll feel real good because I can't stand their fan. I like their team. I respect their team a lot. I really do. I think they're the best team in the NFC right now. I know the Niners are rolling. I still have Philadelphia number one. Till the Niners, you got to beat the man in order to beat the man.
They've earned that right. Yes.
And they're still laying in the cut, and everybody's praising the 49ers, which is starting to get on my nerves. Philadelphia's still there. They still have Jalen Hurts. I know they're not clicking yet with the new offensive and defensive coordinator. I'm not counting that team out. They're still 5-0, and they haven't played as well as the 49ers yet. And they may make a trade. Howie Roseman is an aggressive general manager. He will figure out, okay, we need a safety. Well, Denver's having a fire sale. What about Justice Simmons, right? Oh, they're having a fire sale. What about Frank Clark? Let me add another D in. Let me go get me a linebacker. So Philadelphia, to me, is still the top 10. And that defensive line is vicious. It is the best. Like, Niners and Eagles are neck and neck. Their defensive line with Jalen Carter and Fletcher Cox in the middle. You know, Jordan Davis from Georgia. Then you still got Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham. They are nasty.
Did you see what Hassan Reddick was doing last week, icing that game on Stafford?
Unbelievable.
Pummeling him.
Yes. He knocked Brock Purdy out of the football game.
He did.
He possibly gave Josh Johnson a concussion early in that football game.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to crown him. So I think for a lot of 49er fans, maybe I'm wrong. 888-957-9570. But is this defense, is this season only going to be special if they beat Philadelphia and win a Super Bowl?
I don't think so. Not necessarily because, and I have to be honest with myself here because I said at the beginning of the year, and I said it with you when I filled in a few months ago. This season, to me, you want to win the Super Bowl, but if you find out who your quarterback is for the foreseeable future, I think that's a win. And right now, Brock Purdy, leader in the clubhouse for me, for Peter King, if the season ended today for MVP, I think you found your guy for the future. And I do think that is a massive win.
So let me flip it on you then. Okay, say they find out who their quarterback is.
It's Brock Purdy.
You still lose the Philadelphia NFC Championship game. It's still a win this season?
It hurts. Oh,
no, that's not a win.
It hurts. But you know who your quarterback is. If Brock Purdy wins MVP and you still lose them, yeah. I think it stinks.
So we would know
it hurts.
So we would know
the season wasn't a failure.
So we would know we have a quarterback who couldn't get past Philadelphia.
Well, how's it look, Bonte?
Great.
How does it look? In this hypothetical, how's it look? Because if Purdy plays his ass off and they still lose because Jalen Hurts makes one better throw, like I can wrestle with that as a Niner fan. Like, hey, Jalen Hurts was better that day, is what it is. Well, but if they get blown out, to your point, if they get blown out and Brock Purdy is getting destroyed, then yes, there might be some reservations. But he would still be the MVP.
I don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough for 49er fans to know that, Steve Young lost year after year. We knew who the quarterback was.
Yeah, but it
still wasn't good enough.
But then you got Steve Young. Yeah, that's okay.
But it wasn't good enough because you weren't winning Super Bowls. Coming off of Montana, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough to lose a 92 NFC Championship game. We didn't care about the regular season MVP. 93, we didn't care about his numbers. Special season needs to end with the Super Bowl for this 49er team in 2023. And that's unfortunate. We can enjoy everything about it. But Niner fans will tell you, we're tired of being this bridesmaid. We're tired of being second fiddle. We're tired of being Cinderella with the glass slipper breaking in the NFC title game. We've been through this for over a decade now. A decade.
But you've also been over a decade and like 2 decades of who the hell's your quarterback, right? Brock Purdy's the MVP. I almost called him Brock MVP. Like that's
right now.
For right now, but if he keeps
5 weeks,
he's shown nothing that he's going to slow down. Like this guy, what we're seeing right now is for real and it's sustainable.
It is sustainable.
And it's one of the greatest starts for a quarterback in NFL history.
He can go out and go crazy and have an MVP type season. But if he can't get past Philadelphia, nobody gives a damn who the quarterback is.
I don't agree with that. I think if Brock Purdy wins the MVP this season, I think that's a win for the 49ers.
Yeah, it's a win.
Because you have your quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years at least.
You got small wins, right? That's a win. I'll concede that. That's a win. Christian McCaffrey having come back, that's a win. You pay Brendan Knight, that's a win. You pay Nick Bosa, that's a win. You have Fred Warner coming back, that's a win. But the ultimate goal, if that doesn't come to fruition, if they're not hoisting that Lombardi in Las Vegas, this offseason will be, boy, we wasted a great opportunity to win a Super Bowl. We wasted a great chance. Nobody's going to care about Brock Purdy being a quarterback of the future. Some people will, but for the most part, Niner fans are going to be thinking, how the hell can we get over the top?
Yes, but I think if it's how it looks again. Like if they lose a close one, then it's like, you know what? That's too bad. But you know what? We got Brock. We're going to come back.
I don't know.
We got Brock Purdy. He's our guy. I know we will be back. We're going to be set up for the next, we have a young head coach. We're going to be set up for the next decade at least. We're going to be set up there, and it's going to be fine. And I'm not usually that guy, Bonte, but for as many struggles the 49ers have had at the quarterback position, Kaepernick, Smith, Mullins, Garoppolo, right? All these, Sean Hill, all these guys, and I know I have Brock Purdy, MVP in my back pocket now. That's got to be a huge sense of relief. A huge sense of relief for 49er fans.
Yeah, that's a relief.
I haven't had
but you know what's not? Do we know what's not a relief? Realizing that you haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995.
Oh, okay.
That needs to go. I'm telling you, man. I've been a Niner fan my whole life. I know how these Niner fans tick. I know what makes us tick. This league is wide open this year.
This year is
Kansas
the year.
City, right now, if they don't make any trades, they're very vulnerable. Cincinnati, we're going to see them in a couple weeks. Very vulnerable.
It's starting to feel like Kelsey's showing his age a little bit with Kansas City.
Dude, Minnesota.
Injuries.
Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. We're not ever going to see him on the Monday Night Football.
That's massive.
Massive.
Still got Kirk.
Cleveland. We're going to miss Deshaun Watson possibly. They're going to start P.J. Walker.
Yikes.
Come on. The stars are aligning for the 49ers to have a special ending. But boy, if you don't get past Philadelphia and you have all these all-pros, Fred could be an all-pro again. Brendan Ayuk could be an all-pro again, or for the first time in his career. Christian McCaffrey could be an all-pro. Brock can win the freaking MVP. But if he's not playing in that game in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, I'm telling you right now, a lot of Niner fans don't care who the quarterback is. They're going to be thinking, we still couldn't get it done. We still couldn't get it done.
I mean, but
to me, for a lot of Niner fans, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is in the foreseeable future. They just want to win.
No, I think we've shown how important the quarterback is. The love for Brock Purdy right now, I haven't seen this sort of love since maybe, the Kaepernick at his peak. At his peak. Jimmy Garoppolo, he got to a Super Bowl, it was great. But Kaepernick was flashy. He was spectacular.
Right.
He was in all the commercials. He was eating Mighty Wings at McDonald's. I want to bring those back. Those are very good.
Right.
Like, he was doing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy has a chance to be on all these commercials. He's going to be the next lovable guy. He's going to be your quarterback for the next decade.
That's all fine and dandy.
That matters to fans.
It does.
If he's the MVP.
But you know what else matters? The jewelry.
Yes.
Does it matter that Steph Curry went unanimous MVP, yet they lost the NBA Finals? Nobody even talks about it anymore.
People talk about that season, though. That is one of the greatest seasons of all time.
And then they go, boy, Father's Day 2016. People don't even want to bring it up.
People do bring up the unanimous MVP, though. They use that.
Marcus in Richmond, 11-minute man?
Yeah.
He brought it up. He goes, Father's Day was ruined. Father's Day would never be the same for him. And here's another good point, 415 Comcast Business Text Line. If the Niners can't beat the Eagles will have Jalen Hurts for a long time, too.
That's true. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be playing the Eagles every single season. Even we're talking about it now, you might not even see the Eagles in the playoffs. There's a chance you see Detroit Lions in an NFC Championship game. That's what I'm getting at here. Yes, there's a test on December 3rd in Philadelphia, but it's no guaranteed you're going to see them in the playoffs.
Maybe not.
And if you see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and let's say they go out and they get someone at the deadline or something like that, and you lose to Patrick Mahomes, are you really going to be like, oh, this was a fit? Come on. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Are you kidding me?
What?
If they lose the Super Bowl to anybody, I don't care if it's
the season was not a failure, though.
Season was not a failure, but it's a massive disappointment if you don't win.
Yes.
With this roster.
Yes.
Come on now.
But if Brock Purdy ends up being your quarterback of the future and you've already conceded, It's a win for the season overall. He is your quarterback going
You guys
forward.
agree with that? 888-957-9570. You guys agree with that? Is it a win no matter what if we know that Brock is the quarterback? If he's your franchise quarterback and he proves all the doubters wrong that he's the guy for San Francisco for the next 5 to 10 years, is that good enough for 49er fans
If
this year?
Brock Purdy is the MVP of this season, is that good enough for 49er fans going forward?
MVP with no Super Bowl?
Doesn't win the Super Bowl, but he wins the MVP. I think 49er fans would take that. I think they take that. I have my quarterback. It is so damn.
Lines are wide open.
You know
right
who
now.
they're playing this week, Bonte? Do you know who they're playing this week? The San Francisco 49ers?
I'm with Travis
They're
Irby.
playing the Cleveland Browns, who haven't had a quarterback in my lifetime.
Yeah, so but you know what? I'm with Travis Irby.
It matters.
I'm with Travis Irby. He don't know damn when. I've seen MVPs again. Steve Young won the MVP in '92,
and he's a
nobody
Hall of
even talks
Famer,
about it.
and he won a Super Bowl.
But yeah, he won a
Super Bowl
3 years later.
Yes,
3 years later.
I will take that. If you tell me
up
when
until that point,
come on.
In '92, when he lost the NFC Championship game in '92, he was named the MVP. And he struggled in the second round against the Washington Redskins. And in '92, in the NFC Championship game, when he was turning the ball over against the Dallas Cowboys, there were fans screaming for Joe Montana to play. They did not care about the MVP. Only one thing mattered. That was hoisting the Lombardi. That's it. We didn't care. '93, they lost to the Cowboys. Did not matter that Steve Young was all pro and a Pro Bowler. Did not matter to this fan base. Because you know why? Because they needed the ultimate prize. Because that's what it's about. And when you look at the NFC this year, being wide open as it is, it's a 3-team race. Detroit, Philly, San Francisco. Brock can win all the accolades, Pro Bowls, All Pros. They don't win the Super Bowl this year. People say, yeah, sure, Brock won the MVP. We know we got a quarterback. But damn, what do we need to win a Super Bowl? We got everything. You've got everything to win the whole thing right now. You got a great play caller. You got a good D coordinator. You got the best D-line coach. You got the DPOI. You got the best linebacker. You got great safeties. You got good wide receivers. You got a great tight end.
That's
you got
awesome.
a great running back. You got Trent Williams at left tackle. You can't win it this year. I don't care what Brock Purdy does in terms of MVPs, awards, all pros, commercials. I don't care.
What you're describing is the Philadelphia Eagles of last year, who had every single one of those things, and they lost to a guy with a bum ankle and Patrick Mahomes because he's the greatest quarterback outside of Tom Brady of this century. Like, that's what we're talking about. So if Brock Purdy loses to that guy in the Super Bowl, I'm sorry. It's disappointing.
Oh my
but the
God.
season's not a failure. It just happens.
For this team this year, we're gonna enjoy the ride. But if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it is a failure. I'm sorry, it is a failure.
I think if they get
from
to the Super Bowl first and you could beat the Eagles, I think you would take that. I think you could take that.
All right, let's get to the lines. People want to chime in on this one. They're fired up about this. Verducci, El Dorado Hills. What's happening, Verducci?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I want to shout out to the YouTube channel, baby. It is hot and spicy there right now. Stoney, come on, baby. There's no participation trophies. If you're a true Niners fan, look, you realized last year that Brock Purdy was our guy. He passed the eye test. We all knew going into the offseason that was our guy. We ended up drafting well. We ended up fixing a lot of our weaknesses. I think we still have a weakness in O-line. So if they're going to beef up their D-line in the Eagles, we go get that offensive line help, or we go ahead and secure a cornerback. But come on now. We got to be able to take the Eagles and win it all in the Super Bowl. I'm tired of this. I know how I felt when the Ravens beat us. I know how I felt when we lost to the Chiefs, and also when we couldn't finish it in the Rams. Think about Shanahan's reputation, baby.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win it, what's he going to be?
Gosh.
A coulda, woulda, shoulda? No, I want a Lombardi trophy. I want that sixth one, baby. I want my fingers, baby, to be full of that, baby. So, hey, look, the reality is, Niner Nation, if you are a true Niners fan like Bonte, like Shasky, that have been there, that have sat there and breathed the Niners, then we're not looking for participation trophy. We're not looking for a good season. I don't care if we have the MVP. I want to be hosting that Lombardi trophy in Vegas, baby, because if they make it there, I'm coming, baby. So, Niner Nation, let's go.